Since we're talking about banks, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank are both due to report their numbers this weekend. So Monday is when we're going to react to that. But let me take it across to Gaurav and find out what the ET Now poll is penciling in.
Well, yes, the biggest private sector bank, which is HDFC Bank, is going to come up with their quarterly results on this weekend. And when we talk about estimates, we have already seen that provisional numbers from HDFC Bank were strong. When we talk about deposit, we saw a growth of around 14% on a year-on-year basis, while in terms of advances, the growth was around 5% on a year-on-year basis. But if we compare sequentially, the growth was strong at 4%. And after that, when we talk about brokerages now, they are also being a little optimistic about the bank, because when it comes to numbers and profitability, they're expecting 7% growth in net interest income. On the other hand, when we talk about PPOP, which is pre-provisional operating profit, we may see an impact of poor other income, and that is the reason why PPOP may see a decline of around 12% on a year-on-year basis. But on the other hand, when we talk about profitability, we may see an increase of around 4%, and this will be supported by the lower credit cost. Now, Street is expecting credit cost to remain below 0.5%, and they do not see any kind of concern in terms of asset quality for HDFC Bank. But what remains a key thing to watch out for is, first is that we have already seen a rate cut cycle has begun, and that is the reason any kind of impact on net interest margins, at least for Q4, Street is not expecting any impact on net interest margin. They are expecting a moderation somewhere in the range of 3 basis points, but not a bigger rate impact is what they are expecting. But from here on, how the commentary is going to be, because let's also not forget that in FY26, management had said that HDFC Bank will grow somewhere in line with the industry. If we look at industry growth rate, it is at around 11%. So any kind of commentary on that front is going to be a key thing to watch out for. Any kind of commentary on how the deposit rate and interest rates are going to impact the overall net interest margin is something to watch out for. But all in all, good set of number is what we are expecting from HDFC Bank for Q4 of FY25.